Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for an absolutely stacked Chelsea news video. I've got the notebook out and we've almost got an entire sheet of I don't know what bloody size paper this is, but today Tyler Adams, Kepa, Eli Wahi, Cesar Casadei, Ian Matson, a new shirt sponsor. Kind of didn't want one, but it looks like we've got one. Elise, Lewis Hall, Angelo, Washington, not Denzel, but our new signing. Here we go. And we're going to finish with, you guessed it, Caicedo. So, if you want to get yourself a hot drink, if that's your preference, then go grab yourself one. If you like a beer, like I do sometimes, grab one of those too, margarita, whatever it may be. And whilst you're at it, please do subscribe to the George Benson football channel if you like what you see here. I upload every single day talking about Chelsea Football Club. And if you do enjoy this video, please hit the like button. And we begin with Tyler Adams. We didn't speak about Tyler Adams yesterday. Fabrizio Romano says, understand, Chelsea are now actively working on Tyler Adams' deal. Talks ongoing between the clubs and personal terms being discussed. Again, not linked with Caicedo. Separate deals as Moises insists since Sunday. He didn't play as he wants to leave and join Chelsea. This looks to me as though the two defensive midfield signings that Pochettino is going to get this summer for the Chelsea first team squad is American Tyler Adams and Moises Caicedo. And realistically, this is a really strong midfield window for Chelsea if we can get these two deals done. Tyler Adams to Chelsea is still looking likely. This is a tweet from Simon Phillips from Phil Hay. Tyler Adams, I think, is an exciting player. I think he's definitely someone who will come in and not necessarily expect to be playing every single game. He will know when it comes to agreeing those personal terms. If he says he wants to join Chelsea, which, let's be real, Leeds are in the Championship. Chelsea, we're looking to get back into Europe next season, and we need a bigger squad. We need to have enough players in each position, and I think there is definitely game time for Tyler Adams in this Chelsea team. So, let's see how this one develops over the course of the next couple of days. But the 20 million release clause looks as though Chelsea are going to meet that, and that will be the second defensive midfield signing, hopefully with Caicedo alongside him. We move into probably the biggest news of today's video. Bayern have added Kepa to their shortlist for a new goalkeeper confirmed. He's a concrete name suggested by Thomas Tuchel, as Kerry Howe reports. Chelsea and Bayern will speak soon to understand if possible to agree on formula. Geronimo Rulli and Bono remain candidates for Bayern Munich. Thomas Tuchel, thank you very much, Sunshine. And again, I like Kepa, but I only like him. I don't think he's the best goalkeeper in the world. I think the price that Chelsea have paid for Kepa in the first place has clearly not been a decision that has been vindicated by consistency within his performances. And secondly, the man is on £190,000 a week. So if Bayern Munich are knocking on the door, then does this mean that Sanchez has been bought in and he'll be the number one? Obviously, we've now bought in Robert Sanchez, so I think this Kepa news coming now has come at a good time. I think as much as Pochettino has said that he sees Kepa as his number one for the start of this season, I really think this is because Chelsea were reluctant to spend the money that Man United have now spent on Andre Onana. Mike Maignan was another target that we heard about. We didn't want to spend the money on him either because Chelsea Football Club deemed him too expensive. Now, with Kepa, I think that this could be, depending on the fee here, I think this could be too big of an opportunity for Chelsea to turn down. I don't think anyone has ever been consistently sure with Kepa as the number one. I mean, personally, you just know that he's got a mistake in him. And I've honestly said it since when Sanchez signed. Kepa will start as the number one, but I wouldn't be surprised if by October, Sanchez has already taken over that number one spot. So if Bayern Munich are there, I also think this is something that Kepa would like to do. We see here in his Arkinsella, Chelsea draw up new goalkeeper shortlist after deciding not to stand in Kepa Arrizabalaga's way amid Bayern interest. I think Kepa would want to go here. Bayern are looking for a new number one, and he gets to play under Tuchel again, which I think it's odd, really, that Tuchel is now going for Kepa and wants Kepa, considering Tuchel was the one who gave Mendy the starting place in the Chelsea team. Thomas Tuchel, though, I think is doing Chelsea a big favour here. And whether or not we go in the market for another goalkeeper, we'll have to wait and see how this deal for Kepa to Bayern Munich continues. Chelsea haven't fully pulled out of the race for Eli Wahi, despite having a £24 million bid rejected by Montpellier. There's a lot of rival interest there, of course, suggests Washington deal needs the final okay, despite a broad agreement over fee and personal terms. We're going to go into David Washington. Here we go. We're going to talk about him a little later on in this video. Eli Wahi has been touted as a player that Chelsea are looking to bring in. Again, if they rejected a £24 million bid, we're going to have to spend here something similar to what we spent on Nicholas Jackson, perhaps. Maybe 30 million will be enough. He's a player heavily in demand. He was scoring a lot of goals in France last season. And I think this could be one of those Chelsea signings where between now and the end of the window, Pochettino could look in training at both 18-year-old Washington from Santos, who, by the way, I've done a bit more research on this guy. He is excellent. He is absolutely brilliant. Maybe while he goes back to Ligue 1, tries to build upon what he's done this year at Montpellier. Could it be Strasbourg? Maybe. We're going to talk about a player who's already gone on loan there later in this video. But let's watch this space with Chelsea. Here we go. Cesar Casadei to Leicester on loan. I quite like this, you know. Enzo Maresca is Italian. He's the Leicester City manager. And I think as much as we saw Casadei in the Championship last season, playing for a struggling Reading side, Leicester will be there or thereabouts at the very top of the Championship this season. I think that Leicester team will batter a lot of teams in the Championship. They'll lose a few games. And I think when it comes to a level above the experience that he had at Reading last year, Leicester's a good move for him. I think Chelsea were kind of waiting. There was interest also from Genoa in Italy for Cesar Casadei. We were waiting for any potential Premier League moves. But again, I think with Casadei, he's still very raw. He's clearly very talented. We saw that in pre-season and in the under-21 Euros as well. I think this is a really good move for Casadei, and I expect Leicester probably minimum playoffs this season, and I think he'll have a massive part to play. Could he be what Yuri Tielemans was for Leicester City? We're going to have to wait and see with Cesar Casadei. Jacob Steinberg has reported here about Ian Maatsen. We are steaming through this news video today. If you are enjoying yourself and haven't already, please do hit the like button. West Ham looking at deal for Chelsea left-back Ian Maatsen. They think they can get him on loan with an option to buy. Bloody hell, West Ham. You sell Declan Rice. You got Lucas Paquetá maybe on the way to Man City. Paquetá in his bags to go to Manchester for £85 million. Now they think they can get Maatsen on loan. Let me inform you, West Ham, okay? Let's finish the tweet first. Maatsen impressed during pre-season, and Pochettino likes him, but an exit isn't being ruled out this month. To me, this is the wrong left-back. Chelsea, if anyone, should be potentially leaving from that position this summer. Surely it's got to be Marc Cucurella. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. I think West Ham will be looking at this and thinking, well, okay, Pochettino says he likes Maatsen. Chelsea are reportedly offering him a new deal to stay at the club. West Ham have got money to spend here. And Chelsea should do to West Ham if... I don't believe that we should do this. I really think this is a bad idea to let go of Ian Maatsen, whether it's a loan or a sell, with an option to buy. But we could pull West Ham's pants down. We really could, and we should, because we get our bloody pants pulled down and proverbially whipped on the back end with every transfer that we try to bring into Chelsea. I say watch this space with this one. It depends just how concrete this interest from West Ham United is. The next story, as reported elsewhere, Chelsea are talking to Infinite Athlete about becoming their new shirt sponsor, but the deal is not done. Clubs still have other possibilities. And then, slightly conflicting to the previous tweet, Chelsea have finalised a front of shirt sponsorship deal worth close to 50 million a year. That's actually really good. With a US-based tech company, Infinite Athlete. This is the third highest deal in the Premier League after Manchester City and Liverpool. I've got to admit to you, I've never heard of Infinite Athlete before in my life. A US-based tech company. I mean, it was probably always going to be a US-based company, now with American owners. 50 million a year, all right? We can all sit here and say how much we adore the Chelsea kit this season with no sponsor on it. It does look fresh. It's probably the most beautiful Chelsea kit that we've had for maybe 10 years. But 50 million a year, Chelsea were always going to get a sponsor, and it's just about done within a week to go until we officially sell everything in the megastore. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to just keep the shirt I've got. But Infinite Athlete are set to become Chelsea's shirt sponsor. We move into some updates regarding the release clause of Michael Olise. This is from Simon Phillips, quoting Ed Aarons. Michael Olise release clause is actually slightly more than 35 million that has been quoted, and it's also complicated by some unusual terms set by the player. They include Olise being able to turn down a move even if the clause is triggered. This is, for me, I think this shouldn't be unusual. If a club triggers a release clause for a player, and the player is still contracted to Crystal Palace in this case, if Olise doesn't want to move to Chelsea, then of course, if he doesn't want to, he can just say, nah, I'm happy here at Palace. You may have triggered the release clause, but I don't want to sign a deal with you. If this is the only unusual term, I don't really see too much unusual about this. There's also no indication here as to how much more than 35 million quid the Olise release clause actually is. I don't imagine it's going to be massive. I think we're probably talking a discrepancy here between about 3 and 5 million max. And I still think at 21, 35, 40 million for Michael Olise is a good deal. And I think Chelsea, with Nkunku out for 4 months, we talked about it yesterday, tentatively still. We didn't know just how long it was going to be, but 4 months without Christopher Nkunku. I think Chelsea need to go in the market for an attacking midfielder almost desperately. We don't want to be left in a position that we were in last season where we were relying on players playing out of position with no creativity, no final output. We brought Nkunku in to deliver goals, to deliver assists, to link with the striker. Maybe, just throwing it out there here, is there another way that João Felix comes back on loan? At the moment, no one seems to want Felix. He's kind of just like disappeared. He wanted to go to Barcelona. Of course, if you don't want to be at Atletico Madrid, Simeone don't want you, then of course you want to go to bloody Barcelona. But, you know, maybe we can get João Felix on loan again if we struggle to secure your Olise's, Cherki's, Mohamed Kudus. Is it too late? I don't even know if Brighton have confirmed that deal or not yet. But Olise, that's the news regarding him. The next story from Fabrizio Romano regarding Lewis Hall to Crystal Palace, agreed last week and set to be completed this week between the clubs. Here we go soon. Lewis Hall to Crystal Palace. This is an excellent move for Lewis Hall. He's definitely going to get minutes, and I think if he does make this move to Palace, it will be to be a midfielder. Under Roy Hodgson, a good manager, he will hone in on the defensive elements of his game even more, and I'm excited about Lewis Hall. I think he's one of those players who is about to break through in a big way. At Chelsea, the opportunities would be fewer and further between, but at Palace, there is not guaranteed starts every match, but I think Lewis Hall will play himself into Roy Hodgson's first team, and I think this is a good move, but we've also got to try and make sure that we're not in a similar position come next summer with Levi Colwill the way that we were with Brighton. Obviously now that's played in Chelsea's favour. He's signed a 6-year deal. Happy days, mate, but we don't want to be in that same scenario with Lewis Hall come next summer. The next news, official, confirmed, Angelo Gabriel. Damn! Angelo Gabriel joins Strasbourg on loan from Chelsea. We've kind of known this now for a while. Plan never changed and now confirmed. We always heard that Angelo was going to be going on loan. Sterling has been poor. Yeah, we get that. We've not seen Madueke. He did look good, Angelo Gabriel, in pre-season, but Strasbourg, Chelsea the Chelsea owners have acquired Strasbourg, so now that's basically going to be our team to watch in France, right? We're going to be keeping an eye. I can't stop sneezing. We're going to be keeping an eye on him every single week in France. The next story is a big one. It's a here we go. David Washington to Chelsea. Here we go. Verbal agreement done as Santos accepted €15 million plus 5 million add-ons bid for 18-year-old striker. Long-term deal agreed. David wanted Chelsea. Documents being prepared now. Deciding soon about loan to Strasbourg or staying at Chelsea Football Club. Now, I've read into this guy a lot more. Santos fans are gutted that they have sold him. I think there's obviously so much talent currently being snapped up from Brazil, young Brazilian talent here. And I think a lot of the Brazilian fans of Brazilian clubs are like, surely we just want to try and keep hold of these youngsters for a bit longer. And David Washington is one of the players that Santos had the highest hopes for. Chelsea here have got themselves potentially another bargain in a similar way that we've got Andre Santos. Andre Santos' value is going to skyrocket. It already has since Chelsea have signed him. And I think it's interesting here that we look at Washington potentially to be in the Chelsea squad this season. I think if Eli Wahi comes in, one of them will stay, one of them will go. But maybe, just having Washington there, it's going to be another option, another striking option. And I think a lot of this will depend on whether Pochettino gets his top targets. Now, Dusan Vlahovic today is maybe unsure about joining Chelsea because they don't have Champions League. So, what does the rest of that striking shortlist for the Chelsea first team look like for Pochettino's targets this summer? So, if we don't get those top ones, then maybe David Washington, who is now a Chelsea player, could be in the squad this season. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. And we finish. It's taken us 16 minutes here today, but we are now going to talk Moises Caicedo. Brighton CEO Paul Barber on Caicedo. That interest is inevitably going to have an impact on your thought process and unsettle you a little bit. Mate, look, he just don't want to play for you anymore. Brighton, they've just got to understand here. Their player is already not showing up for football games, not showing up for training. He doesn't want to be there anymore, and I can't believe already it's Wednesday afternoon in the UK. Let me just check my phone to make sure that as I've been recording this, there is no developments here in the last 17 minutes for Moises Caicedo. There isn't any as of right now. Chelsea still don't have their man, but it is clear as day where Caicedo wants to be playing his football. Chelsea want the guy. We're just waiting. I think at this point, it's simply a case of waiting. And I do believe the bid will go in today. I think after this video goes live, we're going to hear that Chelsea have submitted the new bid for Caicedo. Because if we don't, there's no way we get this done in time for Caicedo to be in the squad against Liverpool at the weekend. But that wraps up today's Chelsea news video. How many stories we had here? We have gone through 11 stories today. We've gone through everything. It's been a bumper episode of Chelsea news. If you enjoyed it, please do hit the like button, subscribe to GBFC if you are new around here and haven't already done so. Tomorrow, my girlfriend is taking me away for my birthday present, which is super nice of her. Videos will still be coming out, but it won't be in the office. And then I think on Saturday, the neon will be here. We have also got some flipping LED lights that are the Chelsea blue, of course. It's about to level up again. We're buzzing about things. The AC's broken, by the way. That's the update on the aircon. Got to buy a new aircon unit. Redonkulous. But anyway, that's all the life updates done. Come on, you Blues.